Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about packet switching. So, in the last lecture, I discussed about what is switching and what is circuit switching. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about what is packet switching. Before that, I'll be sharing my screen. I'll put it in a slideshow mode. Yes. In the last video itself, I already mentioned while I'm starting this video, we discussed about switching, and I'll be just giving the glance of what is switching. So the thing is that it will be finding the best route to the destination, as well as what is the main role of the switching. It will be collecting the data from the sender, and it will be switching the data to the destination. Okay, as well as we discussed about one telephone example in the circuit switching. There we discussed how the connection establishment was made and what is the difficulty in establishing the connection. And then we discussed about what is the data transfer and how the disconnection happens, and what is the difficulty in establishing the connection. And we discussed about what is stop and wait protocol, and in which topic the stop and wait protocol falls. Like that, we discussed about the circuit switching. But in the packet switching, we are going to discuss about the two types of the switching. One is the datagram switching, and another one is the virtual circuit networks. So mainly in the network layer, we know in the OSA layer, what is a network layer? Network layer means it will be dividing the data into the packets that will be of various size. And we know that the packet is of smaller size. There is no use of dividing the packets into the smaller size, but the we have to know if the packets is divided into the datagrams, what is going to happen. So we have to know. So the thing is that instead of sending the data in a single direction, we can send the data in a multiple direction. Okay, will be dividing the data into the packets that will be further divided into the datagrams. Okay, that is known as the datagram network. And what is a virtual circuit network means? So it will be creating a setup phase and all the datagrams that will be traveling in a single direction. So, but what is the difference between the datagram and the virtual circuit is that datagram that will be traveling in a various paths, and there won't be any resource will be allocated, and there won't be any dedicated path between the sender and the receiver. But if you take the virtual circuit network, all the datagrams that will be traveling in the same direction, and once it reaches the destination, so no need to sort. But in datagram network, I have to sort it out. Now we can discuss deep on this. So if you take a circuit switching, so all the if you connections that we are making, that falls on physical layer, and will be, if you use a switch, automatically the data link layer, and it will be choosing the best route to the destination, that is the transport layer. But we are going to use an additional layer here, is that network layer, because we are going to divide the data into the packets that will be of variable size. So that will be represented as a network layer. So we are going to use four layers, four of the OSI layers here, but in the circuit switching we'll be using only the three layers. Excluding of the network layer, will be using all the three layers. As well as, before entering into this, we have to know the difference between what is the network address and what is the port address. What is the network address means? The IP address that we are going to use. And port address means, so there will be some port address will be operated on the back end. So in case if whatever the message that we are giving through WhatsApp, on the receiver end, we have to receive in a WhatsApp. We should not receive on the mail or some other platforms or something. So this is known as the port address. So this is a datagram network. So I already said we are going to take out the data and we are going to divide the data into the packets. Okay. And then that will be further divided into the datagrams. I already said the most important point is that it is the datagram switching that is normally done on the network layer. I said, right? So as well as the next point is that all the packets, all the datagrams that will be traveling in the various direction. It will be taking the various path. So automatically, the thing is that there won't be any dedicated path and there won't be any resource allocation. So each datagrams will take the various routes to the destination. What is the biggest challenge for the destination is that once it is reaching the destination, it has to make sure that destination has to make sure that all the packets are received on the receiving end. In case, how it can be done? By sorting out all the datagrams. Once that was done, what is my next step? So in case if any one of the datagram is not received, it has to send the error message, because this entire information is divided into the datagrams. If I did not receive any information, I mean any datagram, automatically the information received as the datagrams, that will be completely meaningless. So it will be sending the error message. So automatically again it has to rework on it. So this will be the uh, biggest disadvantage, we can say it, because this will be taking a time. So to avoid this, what we are going to do is that we are going into the virtual circuit network. So in the virtual circuit network, you can look into this diagram. Just a second. Yes. So the thing is that all the datagrams that will be traversing on the same direction. Like how I can say, I'll be taking the 4 packets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 datagrams. All the datagrams that will be traversing on the same direction. Okay, you can look into this 1, 3, 2, 2, 3. Every datagrams that will be traversing on the same direction. So that's the biggest advantage of this. So first, initially, what you have to do is that we have to, again, there are 3 phases are there. First is the setup phase, and we have to get the acknowledgement. So all the datagrams that will be traversing on the same direction. Got it? So this is my first thing. And then I have to get the acknowledgement. So at the same time, the receiver should not be busy. So first we have to set up the request and I have to set up the path. So in circuit switching, we'll be sending the information without dividing the data into packets. But here we divided the data into the datagrams. And then we are sending in the same direction. I mean, through the dedicated path. So in case, if there is any in case if the receiver end is busy, it has to wait. You know about the stop and wait protocol, but only difference is that all the data is divided into the datagrams and sent through the same direction. Okay, automatically once the setup was done, it will be getting an acknowledgement. Okay, in case if it is a positive acknowledgement, I can send. In case if it send the acknowledgement as wait, I have to wait. That the problem is arising, as this we already discussed in the circuit switching. Once the setup was made, okay, we have to send the data, and this is followed in the same way as how we are done in the circuit switching. We have to transfer the data, and then what you have to do, it will be receiving in the order, and once it was successfully received, it will be sending the acknowledgement as the positive acknowledgement. And after the data transfer was done, and finally the acknowledgement will be sent there. Initially one acknowledgement was there, that is you can send the packet. How now the final acknowledgement is like, so whether all the packets are received, like it will be sending the positive acknowledgement. Once the positive acknowledgement was made, and it will be sending the I mean it will be disconnecting the phase. So again in the similar way, setup phase, there again the acknowledgement for sending the packet. Once the acknowledgement was sent, you can transfer the data, and finally again another acknowledgement has sent, that as positive or negative acknowledgement, and finally the connection will be disclosed. What is the difference between circuit switching and virtual switching in the packet switching? Means circuit switching will be sending the data straight away once the connection is established. Here the data will be divided into the packets and the datagrams will be sent. So depending upon our convenience, we can send it. But according to my opinion, the circuit switching is made because was preferred, because no need to divide the data into packets, as well as no need to use one additional layer. That will be little expensive compared to the virtual switching. So always, if you take the switching, circuit switching will be preferred over the packet switching, because it is not expensive as a packet switching, because we have to divide the data into packets, and we know packets is of smaller size. No use of dividing that into the smaller data or something. Okay, so automatically circuit switching will be preferred over the packet switching. So automatically, if there is a delay, if the receiver is busy, automatically there will be efficiency will be there. And then automatically, if there is a problem in the efficiency, as well as there will be a delay. So we have to know the what is the difference between circuit as well as a packet switching. Circuit switching is the connection oriented. This is connectionless oriented. As well as you have to know another thing. This is a voice communication. This is data communication. So as well as uh, you can make this as like this. So circuit switching means it can be implemented at physical layer, as well as it was in the PPT, it was just mentioned as a physical layer. It's not a right actually. We can implement that in the data link as well as the transport layer. The thing is that it is going to switch the data from sender to receiver. So for that, the data link is needed, and for finding the best route, transport layer is needed. So here we are going to use 3 layers, but in packet switching, additionally, one layer we are using is the network layer, because it is going to divide the data into the packets. So 4 layers are used in the packet switching, only 3 layers that we are using in the circuit switching. So that's all about the packet switching. So in the last lecture and in this lecture, we completely discussed about what is switching and what are the types are there in the switching. And there are 2 types, circuit and packet switching. In packet switching, we discussed about the datagram switching as well as the virtual switching. Thank you.